Hey, what's up, Street Talks? It's Eric from the Eric from Street Talks blog. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about is this notion of location independence, or being a location independent photographer, whatever. And I wonder to myself, is location independence overrated in the sense that a lot of us we think we want location independence, but whereas in reality, it's actually kind of a false preference, which we've been suckered into thinking that we want via these lifestyle bloggers or whatever. Sorry, I just saw something I wanted to photograph. Anyways, so the basic idea is this. Location independence is, I think, this is just my definition, right? Is the idea that at any point of time, you could live anywhere and everywhere for however long you want. So the idea is you could just kind of pack up your bags and jump on a plane and be anywhere you want. So for example, if tomorrow I want to suddenly go to Saigon, I don't have a job or kids or whatever kind of holding me back, so I could just go off and do it. So now, technically I'm location independent in the sense that, you know, I make my money on the interwebs. Cindy, of course, I have a combined income with Cindy, which is awesome. So Cindy is CEO of Haptic Industries, and we sell products. We sell camera straps, we sell books, and also most of my living comes from teaching workshops, which I could intermittently be anywhere in the world to teach workshops. But besides that, I have the option of living anywhere I want to for however long we want to. So practical things that we've learned is, or just overview of the last 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. We've lived in Vietnam for about a year, like 8 months in Hanoi, 3 months in Saigon, and we've been back to Saigon a few times. We lived in Japan for about like 3 months. We've lived about a month in Osaka, a month in Kyoto, and some change in Tokyo. We spent some time with at my mom's house in San Jose in the Bay Area. And now currently we're in Little Saigon in Orange County. And I wondered to myself, this notion of location independence is actually something I really desired for in my personal life for a long time. Because, you know, I had this very romantic notion of being a jet setter, being like George Clooney up in the air, and it's kind of this modern notion that to always be traveling, to always be on the road is kind of this sexy, successful thing. Now, this is a very modern notion, obviously, because if you were once a king pharaoh, you don't measure your success by going to other places. No, you're like the king of your own place. Or even another good example is if you think about the Odyssey and Ulysses, his whole goal is to go back home to Ithaca, where he is king, and to retire there and live the rest of his days there, right? So obviously the notion of constantly be on the road, constantly be a nomad, it's much more of a modern notion. I mean, while I do believe that there is some parts of our human soul where we desire challenge, discomfort, adventure, to conquer and conquest things, places, sometimes peoples, I think it's part of our human DNA. So, but the question is, do I want to be location independent, and why do I want to be location independent? Because I think most people, when they say I want to be location independent, I think what people mean to say is I don't want to be stuck down by a 9-to-5 job where I just can't, leave whenever I want to. And even like example in 2011, when I first started to make my blog on street photography bigger, Leica invited me to fly out to Paris for the Leica Magnum event. I think they released the monochrome or some other camera. Anyways, it was the thing that kind of sucked was, I was lucky too. I was able to finagle my way to, because at the time I was working my 9-to-5 corporate internet tech job, right? So like super last minute, I had to try to finagle PR and my boss to take some vacation days off. I don't even think I accrued enough vacation days. I think I took unpaid leave to go to this event. And then when I came back, I called into the office, HR office, and like, you do this one more time, Eric, we're gonna give you the axe, right? So is the goal for us to indefinitely be on the road? I don't think so. And obviously, this is just my personal experiences and my personal thoughts. It's going to be different for you. But like, let me give you a practical example. Right now, my life goal is to deadlift 500 pounds. I think I deadlifted like 435 or something last week. I'm not sure. But anyways, if you want to increase your deadlift or any of your lifts, you know, you want to be close to a gym and to go regularly. And I love going to the gym. I go at least once a day. Sometimes I go twice a day, every single day. And for me, it's not this like, you know, toilsome, laborious thing that people, oh, I hate going. I'm like, I love going to the gym. To me, it's like super fun. And I almost treat it like my Zen dojo, where I just go with headphones. I just listen to music. I lift, and it's a way for me to think, way for me to meditate. And also there's a dry sauna, which I love going, where I get a lot of creative ideas. So anyways, if my goal is to increase my deadlift to 500, obviously I don't want to be location independent in the sense that I want to be here in Little Saigon, the 2-minute drive to the gym. This is actually preferable for me. And this is because my life goal right now, one of them, is to do that 500-pound deadlift. And so if I was on the road or traveling, like obviously this would be inimical to my goals, because I'd always had to find a new gym and sign up, and it's obviously a lot more complicated. And I think this is the thing, is that location independence isn't the ultimate aim. Usually the notion of location independence, we want to be locationally independent in order to do something else. So I think most people say, oh, I want to be location independent because I want to travel the world, and you know, I want to not be tied down, which is fine. But realize you don't have to be location independent to see the world. And also, this is another thing I'd encourage you to think about, is why travel, why see the world is, you know, I don't think that's the ultimate aim in itself. It's like, I think for me, traveling is a means to be to be uncomfortable, and uncomfort is good to me because it allows me to come up with new creative ideas. So discomfort leads to creativity, which is something I learned. You don't necessarily have to travel in order to do that. You could even live at home and live like a simulated poverty lifestyle in order to be a little bit more uncomfortable, to come up with more creative ideas. Even here, living the super abundant world of Little Saigon, where I could buy a pound of meat for $1. And I can't, even me, like a big meat eater, I can't really eat more than 2.5 pounds of meat a day. So I can feed myself on $2.50 a day, which is awesome. And even something I've been doing since I'm here in Orange County, food is hyper abundant here. It's almost like it's occupational hazard living here, because you're just gonna get fat because there's just so much food and it's so plentiful and so cheap, and everyone does is just go out and eat for fun. And so I've been very hyper discipline to myself. I don't eat breakfast or lunch, and I purposely fast until dinner time. And it's a way for me to combat this ultra super abundance we have down here. But anyways, so what I mean to say is this, is that realize that, you know, I don't think there's right or wrong goals in life. And you know, you should ignore all these kind of lifestyle experts or whatever, or people who tell you stuff on blogs or podcasts or Instagram, whatever. It's just really just try to figure out what your true preferences are. Like, what do you really want out of your life, and what are you willing to risk or sacrifice in order to get it? And always think about like, what is your end game, and then work backwards. So like, is your end game, because like, for example, a lot of people say, oh, you know, I want to travel more, or I want to see the world. So, okay, that's fine, but why? Like, what do you want that to do? Because once you see all these amazing sites and places, honestly, it kind of gets a little bit like same, a little bit boring after a while. I think maybe what people want is, I want to travel in order to spark some new creative ideas, in order to create more artwork. Now, if that's really your goal, you don't necessarily need to travel in order to be inspired or motivated to create new artwork. Maybe you just need to like go out of the house more, or just take the camera with you more often to shoot photos. So really, 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 really challenge yourself, and try to figure out what is that I really want out of life, and what can I do in order to get there. So ultimately, I think my conclusion is location independence. I think, all things considered, is a good thing. I think it's advantageous to be location independent. However, location independence isn't the ultimate game in itself, because I'm technically location independent right now. I'm not like happy, like just because I'm locationally independent, I'm not like happy. I don't wake up and I'm so happy because I'm location independent. I wake up, I still feel like everyone else. I'm like, fuck man, like I need a cup of coffee. I didn't sleep that well last night. Wake up, have my coffee, and I'm, oh, what should I do today? I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably go to the gym. So I go to the gym, and then once the caffeine gets pumping, I start deadlifting, listening to some Meek Mill. Then I start feeling good, do the sauna, come back, drink more coffee. Then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm in the zone. What should I do today? I'll do some writing, some vlogging. I'll come up with some new ideas. Maybe get some Korean barbecue if Cindy's down for it. So anyways, I think, yeah, the best lifestyle is the productive lifestyle where you're a producerism. The idea of is anti, or it's opposite of consumerism, where you're finding your own personal happiness in life by producing things, by making things, by creating things. And productivity, not like just answering a bunch of emails all day or checking things off your to-do list, but really producing photos, videos, ideas, knowledge. And I think ultimately all action is good action. As long as we're active, we're standing on our 2 feet, we're exploring, we're challenging. I think that's what makes life worth it. Even like these videos I'm making, you know, I don't got ads on these videos. I'm not making money off the YouTubes, but I think it's really, for me, I know personally, it's an interesting challenge for me to kind of dissect or attempt to better understand certain notions that people have in society. And, you know, I'm always interested in sociology and I consider myself a sociologist. So I'm like, I wonder where these notions come from. And also challenging myself is that I've had certain goals in my life and I've achieved a lot of them, and then realizing that they didn't lead me to having ultimate happiness. And also a lot of the advice I'm giving you in this video is just advice I wish I could have gave myself if I started all over again. And obviously this is not going to apply to everyone, nor should it apply to everyone. I just want to use this as like a way for you to maybe stir some ideas or imagination in your own head, and ultimately to challenge you and encourage you to discover the truth for yourself. I don't think there's anything as ultimate truths. There's only personal truths. So seek your own personal truths and figure out what's best for you. So once again, to wrap up some of the points I made, I do think that location independence is a bit overrated because that's not the end in itself. Perhaps the ultimate aim is to be more productive in terms of making more photos, making more art, making more videos. And if you're watching this and you're a photography entrepreneur, start your own YouTube channel. Come up with your own ideas, put them out there, and enjoy the creative ecstasy and the joy of, and the delight in making stuff. Making stuff is always more fun than consuming stuff. Think about that. Right? So to learn more, Google Eric Kim blog. I've been doing a lot more stuff on entrepreneurship. And if you want to support us, buy some of our products, hapticindustries.com, or check out some of my upcoming workshops if you're interested in street photography or just pushing yourself out the limit. I think I'm going to start doing more entrepreneurship workshops down the line. So just sign up for Eric Kim newsletter. It's just Google Eric Kim newsletter and then just sign up, and then you'll just stay updated with it. But ultimately, yeah, your life is short, your life is uncertain, so why waste it trying to live according to other people's standards? Be bold, be brazen, be you. Like DJ Khaled says, don't play yourself, be bold, and realize that the truth ain't outside there in books or other forms of knowledge. The truth is in yourself. Peace out.